You have more sympathy for the criminal than the victim, don't you? Do you know Micah Smith?
Michael Smith, Senator?
Micah, M-I-C-H. I bet the victims of Micah Smith remember Micah Smith. If you don't, Mr. Smith molested a 4-year-old girl, didn't he? Mr. Smith molested a 9-year-old girl, didn't he? This is what you said at Mr. Micah's sentencing. These are your words, not mine. What I can say, you said, is that this is a very tragic situation of a person who has a lot of good in him. A lot of good in him. Having done a very reprehensible thing to 2 young children causing extreme damage.
Today, we've got a jaw-dropping exchange from Capitol Hill that left no room for confusion. Senator John Kennedy sat down with yet another Democrat judicial nominee, and this time, things got heated. When you hear what this nominee said about a man convicted of molesting 2 little girls, you're going to question how someone like that was ever considered for a lifetime position on the federal bench. This one isn't just uncomfortable, it's infuriating. Kennedy asked the nominee a simple but revealing question. You have more sympathy for the criminal than the victim, don't you? What followed was a textbook example of political tap dancing that you don't want to miss. Let's dive in.
You have more sympathy for the criminal than the victim, don't you?
Senator, I worked on behalf of victims of crime zealously as a prosecutor. As a judge, I listened carefully to understand impact on victims, and I have always take that into account.
Do you know Micah Smith?
Michael Smith, Senator?
Micah, M-I-C-H.
I don't believe I know a Micah Smith, Senator, no.
Okay. I bet the victims of Micah Smith remember Micah Smith. If you don't.
Senator, there was a defendant I sentenced named Michael Smith.
Mr. Smith molested a 4-year-old girl, didn't he?
Senator, he was convicted after trial of unlawful sexual contact under Maine law.
That's a nice way of putting it.
That was the charge, Senator.
Right. Mr. Smith molested a 9-year-old girl, didn't he?
Senator, again, he was convicted of unlawful sexual contact against 2 children. In that case, I did impose the sentence the state requested.
This is what you said at Mr. Micah's sentencing. These are your words, not mine. What I can say, you said, is that this is a very tragic situation of a person who has a lot of good in him. A lot of good in him. Having done a very reprehensible thing to 2 young children causing extreme damage. Did I read that correctly?
Senator, in that case, I imposed the sentence the state requested.
Did I read your quotation correctly?
Senator, that, I think, is a portion of what I said at sentencing. My focus was on...
But the words I read, are they correct?
That's what was reported in the paper, Senator. I have not seen a transcript of the sentencing.
I bet the victims remember, Judge. You might have forgotten, just like you forgot his name. But I bet the victims remember. And then you handed down a sentence. You gave Mr. Smith 12 years, but you suspended 6 of them, didn't you?
Senator, that was at the recommendation of the state because
but it was your ruling. Did you? Is that an accurate statement of your ruling?
Senator, I accepted the state's recommendation that 6 years should be suspended so that Mr. Smith would be required to participate in sex offender treatment.
I appreciate the lengthy explanation, but I think it's a pretty simple question. That was your sentence, right?
Yes, I imposed the sentence the state requested in that case.
Senator Kennedy didn't just ask tough questions, he exposed a deeper problem. In a time when soft-on-crime attitudes are quietly slipping into our courts, Kennedy stood firm and fearless. He wasn't afraid to speak up for the forgotten, the victims. He brought the facts, the receipts, and the courage to call out what others tiptoe around. While the nominee stumbled through legalese and vague justifications, Kennedy cut through the noise with moral clarity. He reminded the American people that justice isn't about how good a predator might be, it's about protecting the innocent. This hearing wasn't just a confirmation showdown, it was a defining moment. And once again, Senator Kennedy proved why he's one of the most trusted, no-nonsense voices in Washington. He didn't just win the argument, he defended the very soul of justice. This wasn't just a grilling, it was a demolition. Senator Kennedy didn't just expose inconsistencies, he revealed the mindset behind them. In the courtroom, the stakes are life-changing, and the last thing America needs is another judge more worried about a criminal's potential than a child's pain. If you believe judicial nominees should be held to the highest standards, hit that like button, share this video, and make sure you're subscribed. Because moments like these matter. And we're here to shine a light on every single one of them. Catch you in the next video.